I want to thank the members of the media for joining us. We are going to provide an update on the mass shooting that occurred in Buffalo yesterday. I want to thank Governor Kathy Hochul for her support of this community. In Albany working, flew back to be with this community where she lives. We thank her for that. I want to thank New York State Attorney General Letitia James, who was working in New York City and flew here to be with the people of Buffalo. We will hear from them in a moment. I'm going to have some opening comments and then turn things over to Buffalo Police Commissioner Gramaglia. Commissioner Gramaglia will introduce other law enforcement speakers, and then I will come back and introduce the Attorney General and the Governor. There have been many elected officials in the local community who have been active and involved with this horrible situation. We have received calls from elected officials, from business leaders, and others from all across the country and internationally as well. I want to recognize that Congressman Brian Higgins is with us. The U.S. Attorney for the Western District, Trini Ross, is with us. New York State Senator Tim Kennedy, who was on a trip with his family, flew back to be here in Buffalo, is with us. And South District Council Member Christopher Scanlon is with us. As I mentioned, we have heard from a lot of businesses locally and in other places that want to be helpful to the families that have experienced this horrible tragedy. Scott Beeler and West Her Automotive Group have pledged $300,000 for grief counseling and other services for the families of the 10 members of our community that lost their lives in this mass shooting. I want to thank Scott Beeler and West Her Automotive Group for that commitment. Zephyr and Cross Country Mortgage. Zephyr is a new company that will be opening in the city of Buffalo. They have committed $50,000 for the funeral expenses of the 10 members of our community that have lost their lives. All information about how those donations can be processed and how that support can be provided to the families can be accessed through the mayor's office by calling 716-851-4841. This assistance is only for the affected families, the 13 people who have been shot, and sadly, the families of the 10 people who lost their lives. Now for a more detailed and updated law enforcement briefing, I'm going to ask Joseph Gramaglia, the Buffalo Police Commissioner, to provide that briefing and introduce other members of law enforcement.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, everybody here. So first, again, we'd like to extend our condolences to the families of those that have been affected, the TOPS community, the Buffalo police community, and the entire city of Buffalo community. We all feel this as a whole. This is going to be a very lengthy investigation. Last night, we completed the process with the medical examiner's office on identifications and, more importantly, family notifications. We had a family reunification center, and we were able to provide all those notifications so that they can begin the grieving process. As we said, this is going to be a very lengthy investigation. There are warrants that have been obtained. There are warrants that will continue to be obtained both on the state and the federal levels. We'll be looking at extensive digital platforms, computers, phones, cameras, and anything else that comes into play in this investigation. The crime scene is still being held, and it will be held for as long as we need it. The FBI is bringing in specialized equipment to help process that scene. This is a very significant, coordinated, collaborative effort with the state police, the FBI, the Sheriff's Department, everybody else involved in this process. The evidence that we have uncovered so far makes no mistake that this is an absolute racist hate crime. It will be prosecuted as a hate crime. This is someone who has hate in their heart, soul, and mind, and there is no mistake that that's the direction that this is going in. This will be completely geared toward securing a conviction for this individual. Our detectives, agents, deputies, everybody standing before you will work this tirelessly for as long as it needs to go, and it's done by a person, again, who does not live in our community, who brought this kind of hate to our very close-knit Buffalo community. We will not tolerate this. We will stand tall against it. We will rebound against it. We will show how strong we are, and all the members of our police department, the sheriff's department, the FBI, the state police will continue to fight hate on a daily basis. Thank you. We're going to introduce Sheriff John Garcia. We have Special Agent in charge of the Buffalo office also, Steve Belongia. We have the ATF represented as well. So, Sheriff.
Thank you, Commissioner Gramaglia. As Sheriff of Erie County, I just want to say that on behalf of myself, our office, and the residents of Erie County, our condolences go out to the victims, the families, and the entire community. I'm not going to mention this individual by name. He doesn't deserve that. We should never mention his name as far as we're concerned. He is inmate control number 157103. I could state this, that he is in our custody. He will remain in our custody until further notice. Because of his actions yesterday, taking the assault rifle and putting under his chin, he's on suicide watch. So he's on direct observation from our deputies, video surveillance, and he is in a unit which is separated from all other incarcerated individuals. His travels throughout the facility will be by himself, and along with 2 deputies and a sergeant. And he will be treated as everyone else is treated within the Erie County Holding Center, humanely, with respect. And he will receive the correctional health and the mental health that is needed. I believe the narrative should be the actions taken yesterday by the Buffalo police officers, Erie County Sheriff's deputies, FBI agents, that this shooting started at approximately 2:30 p.m. And 5 hours later, this individual is in custody and arraigned and behind bars. The bravery by the Buffalo police officers to engage an individual with a vest, an assault rifle, with handguns, I could just not say enough about their actions. I can't say enough about our retired fellow colleague, Aaron Salter, who confronted this individual to save the lives of others, and may he rest in peace, Aaron Salter. We will move forward. This individual came from outside the community. This is not the city of good neighbors. Moving forward, as the mayor said, a lot of people have reached out to the mayor's office, as they have reached out to the Erie County Sheriff's Office to see what they could do, how they could donate to the families, how they could pay for the funerals. This is what our community is all about. This is Buffalo. This is Erie County. Hate has no place in our county, in our state, in our nation. This was pure evil by one individual. And I know that this community is going to come together stronger than ever, more united than ever, because we are Buffalo and we are one. God bless the victims, their families, and this entire county. Thank you. Steve Belongia from the FBI.
On behalf of the FBI, I'd like to offer my condolences once again to the families and the victims who were viciously attacked yesterday. The FBI continues to vigorously work this investigation from a federal perspective with all of our federal, state, and local partners. I'd like to give a shout out to the ATF, who's been an incredible partner from the beginning on this case at the federal level. We are receiving resources both locally and federally and from our headquarters to assist in this investigation, including from our evidence response unit at headquarters, along with our criminal investigative division, our Counterterrorism Division, and our Victim Services Division. We continue to investigate this case as a hate crime, a federal hate crime, and as a crime perpetrated by a racially motivated violent extremist. If you have not seen it, the FBI has set up a tip line, and if anybody has information that could help with this investigation, we ask that you go to fbi.gov/buffaloshooting.com. Or fbi.gov/buffaloshooting. If you have any information, any video, anything like that would assist the investigation. Thank you.
Again, I want to thank law enforcement at every level, federal, state, Buffalo Police, Erie County Sheriff's Department, for their tremendous response. The Buffalo Police